Hopefully, pre-seen September 2024 analysis by myself. So far, we have done introduction, we have done industries information, in which we have covered overview about the industry, deal and market, TNC services, TNC customers, and TNC's drivers. Now, in today's class, our target is to cover right these particular uh, processes that the company offers. These are the particular processes that I need to cover, that company offer, so that we can discuss, right? Now, the ride hailing and ride industry challenges, latest developments in food delivery, driverless autonomous cars, and electric vehicles, industry KPIs, regulations. So these are all the things that I need to cover so that we can close the industry thing, so that we can close the industry thing in this particular chapter, right? So now, I hope that you have taken the earlier parts mentioned, part one, part two, and now this is part three, right? So we'll have further more parts of this analysis. See, the thing is that I need to get you dive into this case study rather than just reading and going through it. The thing is that the grip on this case would decide that whether what should be your score. So the grip should be the best here, right? So far we observe that there are five. The service ride sharing is one product that we offer, right? Ride hailing is one product that we offer, right? Micro mobility is one product that we offer. Similarly, service customer rentals is one product that we offer, and then business services is one product that we offer. These are the five products that we offer. Now, one student asks me that, sir, what's my market share in this product? So the thing is that your market share is not the industry information. It will be in your company's information. They must have given you the market share. They must have you the market share. The market share is not your information, it's the company's information. Okay, so industry's information, it's the company's information, and we'll be having a look on it. So far, the thing that we have to do is to have a knowing of what's ride hailing and what's ride sharing. So what we have to do is we should be having a knowing of what's ride hailing and what's ride sharing. We should be knowing that, right? What's ride hailing and what's ride sharing. We should be knowing that. So guys, this thing is simple, that a registered customer logs on to customer app or website. Like if you want to book a ride, now thing is that a customer must have a difference, or a knowing that what's ride hailing and what's ride sharing. A registered customer must have an idea that what's ride hailing, what's ride sharing, right? So we have done that. Ride sharing, it's simple that we'll be sharing, me and my particular another customer be sharing the rides on a same route, right? That I need to go on that location. What's what's right? Ride sharing is that I'll be contacting the driver location and right. That's ride sharing. Ride hailing, and what ride hailing is that I want to go, I will go on. I to get right. I think if the wall I share. Yeah, guys. So see how to go for ride hailing and ride sharing, and you have to trust that this is the customer basis, right? You have to trust that this is the customer basis. You are not the driver here. You are thinking like a customer, that you are going on a particularly ride hailing or ride sharing basis. So what will happen, that a registered customer logs onto the customer app or website and requests a ride, right? So what will happen, that a registered customer will go onto the customer app, right, or website and request a ride. So a registered customer will go on to customer app or website and request a ride. So I'll open the app and will request a ride. This is how the thing happens, right? You must be knowing that this is how the thing happens. Then a price for ride is coded on the website and customer confirms acceptance. So price gets locked here, right? So price gets locked here. That's simple. That price gets locked here. Okay. Now, the ride request is immediately sent to driver's app, and once the price gets locked, the nearest driver would be get a notification, and a registered driver whose background checks are done, whose each and everything is done, they'll accept the ride via the driver app and is allocated that ride, right? They will accept the ride via the and is allocated that ride. Okay, so now, the driver that accepts, the customer is notified on the customer app of the driver's details and expected arrival time at pickup location. So once the driver accepts, now you must be going through these things daily, right? If you're using Uber, Careem, or these applications, you must be going through these things, and these are the steps that you follow, right? Once you have accepted the ride, these are the steps that you follow. That once you have accepted the ride, you will be contacted by the driver, and you will be given an expected arrival time, and then customer can track the driver's progress, right? And sometimes here you knew the driver is going on a wrong way because you have the location of it. So you'll call them or you'll guide them that what should be the right way and what should be the wrong way, right? So you'll call them and guide them that what should be the right way, what should be the wrong way. And this is all through being done by the location tracking, right? This is all through being done by the location tracking, right? So drivers progress, customers app, and can also view the route allocated, right? You can see. Then what will happen? The driver will arrive at the specific pickup time and check the customer's name and destination location. The customer checks the vehicle and driver details. So both parties will check the details, right? Both parties will check the details. Here, one thing, like sometime what happens with me, that if I'm late on location, like if I'm late on location, the driver uh says the company that customer is late, and customer bears the charges for being late, right? Customer bears charges for being late, right? So customer bears charges for being late, and this is how sometimes things happens. But again, it's not mentioned, no worries, right? So once customers and driver details have been checked, the driver picks up the customer and drives the requested destination, right? So what will happen, the customers and drivers have been checked, the drivers picks up the customer and drives the customers at the destination. So when the ride is complete, a payment is automatically from your card, and the customer is then required to complete a rating score. So here the rating score is being given, right? I mentioned in the previous class that there might not be the rating score, but the rating score is there, right? It might not be the rating score, but the rating scores must there, right? So this is the process that each and every customer has to go if you're going for ride hailing or ride sharing, right? Each of the customer has to go through if you're going for ride hailing or ride sharing, right? Any questions, guys? You guys have my contact number. You can contact me. No worries. Now, guys, industry challenges. Now, what are the industry challenges in this industry? Yeah, there is some industry challenges, right? There is some industry challenges. See, TNC's operations are subject to global economic conditions, right? our subjects particularly vary due to the economic conditions that we have, right? This TNC operations have economic conditions impacting the business, right? Resulting in spending by customers. If my economic condition is good, our country's economic condition is good, if the economic growth is good, the customer would be spending money on the transport and the travel. But if your economic condition is worsening, the customer wouldn't be spending money, right? Customer would be having themselves with the money and they will be using their own cars, right? This is the problem. If the customer started using their own cars, so they will be losing time, they will be losing some of money, but this is threat to our business. This is threat to our business. If customer is starting or using their own cars, so this is a threat to our business, guys, right? So including the impact on spending by customers. See, if my economic growth of country is higher, so I can spend money. But if the economic growth of the country is not that much, it's not that good, so the problem is that I want to be spending money on the transport. I'll be keeping my own car for using, right? Slow economic growth, recessions, yeah, increase in fuel cost, guys. If the fuel cost has increases, the TNC's prices would increase, right? And if TNC's prices are increasing, so the problem will be that there will be decreased consumer spending power, confidence, and which will hinder our operations. So, guys, one of the major thing is the economic certainty to support our business. Now, this is the major factor, right? There should be economic certainty to promote our business. If there is no economic certainty, then our business is in threat. If there is fuel prices gets higher, if there is food prices gets higher, then our business is in threat. Guys, you have to understand this. Please try to understand this, that our operations majorly depends on the economic growth, because we want people to spend money on transport, and if they have their own car, they are going to have incurred less money. And why would people be incurring less money if they have less purchasing power? So the major threat to our industry is the economic conditions, guys, right? And that depends on the recession, economic growth, fuel cost. These all are the things that it depends, right? So growth of TNC's business depends on the ability to attract and retain qualified drivers, right? To satisfy the required screening criteria and increase available drivers operating hours. So the second issue of the industry is attracting and retaining newly qualified or qualified drivers who satisfy the required screening criteria, right? Which satisfy the required screening criteria. So this is the problem here, guys. This is the problem here. That one thing is industry challenge. The other thing is one thing is industry challenge. The other thing is retention of the qualified drivers, right? The other thing is retention of the qualified drivers, right? So if TNCs do not provide drivers with flexibility and opportunities to earn sufficient income, they'll fail to attract new drivers or retain current drivers, and resulting in complaints and negative publicity. So this will inevitably affecting business and customers. Right, guys? Have you ever discussed things with Uber drivers and all that? Whenever I have discussed, I've seen they got bonuses on basis of right? And why is that? Because company needs more rights, right? Company needs more rights, whereas to motivate their driver, whereas to motivate their driver, they impact this, right? Whereas to motivate their driver, they do this, right? So if you're giving bonuses to the customer or to the drivers, so that means you're getting them motivated to do this. If they somehow lose the motivation, if they somehow lose the particular impact they are creating, so your business would be in threat, right? So your business would be in threat, right? So this will inevitably adversely affect the customers and business clients, right? So now, an urbanization increases and car ownership decreases, maintaining and growth in necessary pool of drivers. So what's their best thing? What's their best thing? That car ownership should decrease. If the car ownership is increasing, it's threat to our business. It's because people are buying their own car, people are buying their own car, so that means they are going to spending money on their car rather than on a transport network company, rather than on a transport net. Now see guys, what's impacting the business. It's the global economic conditions, it's the retention of drivers, right? Let's make down a list of challenges, huh? Let's make down a list of challenges. So economic conditions, drivers retention. Now another industry challenge is attraction of new customer, right? Why a customer would be attracted to you if you are giving them a good price or good discounts? Otherwise, they won't be attracting to you, right? So why a customer will be attracted to you? That you have to give them the good prices, right? You have to retain existing customers and increase their usage. And how you are going to increase the usage, guys? How you are going to increase their usage? You have to think of it. Huh? You have to think of it, that how particularly their increase of usage would be done by getting them promotions. Like some of the companies I have seen, they give promo codes, right? They give promo codes. So it's retain existing customer, important drivers, as well as customers. Your customers should not be changing you. You should be giving them a good price, right? Customer have wide variety of options. Yeah. Now, what are the variety of options, guys? You have bus, you have metro, you have train, you have taxi, you then have the application-based platform. So many options that a customer have, huh? So many options that a customer have. So now see, what are the particular uh, transport mediums that our customer have, huh? What are the particular transport medium our customer has? It's many mediums, right? It's many medium, huh? There are many mediums that our customer have for the transport. Now, what's that? How a customer preference would change. See, if the fuel prices have gone higher, so the thing is that customer will not go to my application because they'll be charging higher, right? If the fuel prices are going higher, so they will be charging higher. So the customer preference will change to their own car. But if fuel prices or transport costs are lower, so customer won't be sacrificing the efficiency of their own car. They'll be preferring that go and get on someone else's car by paying some of the amount of money, right? So TNC must continuously look to the new ways to appeal new customers who have historically used other forms of transportation, other TNC platforms, right? So what happens? What happens that new ways to appeal new customers should be created, right? And you have to create that. You have to think of it. You have to think of it, the new ways of the customers, right? Otherwise, your customers would be lost. Otherwise, you would be in a panic condition. You won't be preferred by the people, right? So continuous stability requirement, continuous stability requirement, and analysis of customer preference regularly, right? Analysis of customers preference regularly. I'll be writing it here. Is required. Analysis of customer preference, right? Why that's required. That's what's the other this in one? The low one, that's safety, right? Safety. Yeah, I tried to this street. Try to the a major change in the inappropriate activity by action. Mostly of the like that industry practitioner people or women not prefer this. They are of these things, right? This is one of the challenges, the issues, the assault, unauthorized use of credit and debit cards, data. This is one of it. Now, your if your card has a limit of 1 million used, this is a problem, right? If your card has So, guys, we were discussing on the data security and confidentiality that we give our credit cards and debit cards, right, or bank account details, right, and sharing in customer and direct driver's account information. So there is a bit of, I'll say, a safety issue, right, a data security issue, right. There can be a safety issue as well as a data security issue. So these are the issues in this industry. These are the issues in these industry that if we see such conduct has exposed high profile lawsuits, yeah, if such cases have occurred, then there can be high profile lawsuits, there can be some legal consequences. And if our name is being taken in the legal consequences, it's obviously that our name will be associated with bad reputation, huh? Our name will be associated with bad reputation. And what we have to do, we have to improve our controls, we have to improve our measures, right? We have to make sure that we have to make sure that we avoid illegal activity. We have to make sure that we avoid illegal activities, right? So without these measures, growth and retention of customers will be a continual challenge. It will be a continual challenge if we are not addressing these issues, particularly the safety one, and particularly the. So guys, this is a favorite requirement, I must say. This is a favorite requirement, I must say. Security of customers as well as security of data. What they could do, they could share some cases in which our company's data has been lost, we have been fined, and they want you to give recommendations on it. And they want you to give recommendations on it. The last one is environmental impact, because we associate with transportation and our CO2 emissions have been great. So it's a major focus of the government, right? It's a major focus of the government across the world. Huh? The transportation industry is considered to be a significant contributor to air pollution. I told you, this is the one industry that damages severely, right? And TNC activity has been cited as a cause for rising congestion, air pollution in urban areas. So it's been cited there, right? It's been cited in the urban areas. Several cities in B-land introducing technologies to manage traffic flow and congestion, which could disrupt the services offered. So also clean air zones are being introduced in laws to improve quality, with fees being imposed on all drivers, right? So they have made some clean air zones, right? In which we have to improve the air quality, in which we have to improve the air quality, with fees being imposed on drivers and all that on the designated zones. So the last industry challenge is environment. The last industry challenge is environment. So guys, the focus on environment is simple. So the focus on environment is simple, or I'll say focus on industry is simple. They have given you the challenges and they can easily ask the recommendations that can address these challenges. Recommendations that can address these challenges, they can easily ask that, right? Or the risk associated, yeah, risk associated with these challenges, they can ask that. Now, a brief of a time on latest development. What's latest development here? Food delivery. Yeah. You do these food deliveries here. You do these food deliveries, transport network company, food options. I also use that. The restaurants confirms the order. The TNC drivers picks and delivers the food. And not only the food delivery, the the particular luggage delivery is also an option. Particular luggage delivery is also an option. The autonomous cars, yeah, driverless cars, or electric vehicles, these two are the solutions to the environmental concern. Driverless cars can navigate into destinations without human intervention, but it's not been made yet. It's not been made. It uses GPS and all that. In fact, in this case, we'll see it's not been yet made. We need a driver, or at least one supervisory person. But the thing is that this is one of the good options. And in order to finish the environmental impact, we can use electric vehicles. And in fact, Tesla, you must know, it's an electric vehicle, or hybrid cars. Yeah, hybrid cars. So these are the new models that have been generated, and this one is favorite of the customers, right? I can share my experience that when I am traveling, I prefer the electric vehicles because I really like those, particularly Tesla. So this is one that a company can promote because customer likes that, right? The KPIs, number of active customers. This is one of my KPI. I'll be evaluating the performance. Guys, if the KPIs are given, now you know what that means, that performance evaluation will lazmi come. Performance evaluation will come of any company, might be mine, might be my customer, competitor, might be both, because they have given you the KPIs. Now, active customers, active drivers, rides completed, revenue, net promoter scores. What's that? It's my loyalty rating, It's my loyalty rating with loyal customers. What's driver satisfaction level? So guys, these are the things that will definitely come. Performance evaluation. These are your KPIs. Your performance will be evaluated on basis of these. So you have to think of it. You have to think of it. And lastly, there is no overall standard in transport network company. There is no overall standard in transport network company. This is one of the regulation, the thing of concern, right? In some countries, drivers have trade unions or network associations which have enabled them to gain the collective voice, right? The power of drivers, The power of drivers. The driver is your supplier. They are basically that one drives your customer. So they are your supplier. So some of the drivers have made unions. Some of the drivers have made unions and gain them a voice so that everyone will go how your company will work. So another issue slightly being tested, like Porter's forces. Another issue slightly being tested, Porter's forces about the drivers era. So these have been popular with drivers and challenging TNCs through particular countries. And this thing is popular. In B land, we haven't had any drivers law, but thing is becoming popular to get them the employment rights, right? So another question seems to be here about the drivers, particular issues about the drivers connections. So guys, so far we have predicted a lot of requirements, right? We have predicted a lot of requirements, and we have covered many things. At least we have covered these factors. At least we have covered these factors. And in the next classes, we're gonna be covered these things, right? And in the next classes, we're gonna be covered these things. Again, get ready, get prepared yourself for the mock. Text me on my WhatsApp, and you'll be given the maximum help I can make you. And I have published these 3 parts yet, and the remaining parts will be uploaded shortly. So hopefully you would have gone a greater insights of this industry. Now I would recommend you to read this case again and again. In the ICAEW, I also suggest to read this again and again, right? This will give you the grip, and this will let you know how to draft. And the mock, the game changer thing, the mock that will be presented to you of this industry, this will allow you to solve the questions like that. Okay, so any queries, you can text me on WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is with you. See you all in the next session.